Believe me, I'm not the one to be looking at today. Woo! Still recovering from everything that happened almost a month ago. But I'm gonna give you a heads up on all this. So these are my blues. Little Australorp. Kelsos. My Acels. This hen, that real pretty hen, is supposed to be a Kelso hen. That hen was supposed to be a roundhead hen. And that hen, right there. And maybe even that hen right there are all going to be bred under this guy, my Liper hatch cock. I love the conformation. I love the dark red. I love the green legs. That's what I'm going to be doing because I'm supposed to be going and picking up a Doc Robinson hatch and a couple of blue-face hatch hens from a buddy of mine up there in Virginia. As you see, I got rid of all, bug don't trip me, I don't need to be falling down. All of them, except for my pigeon. My last pigeon. Yeah, I know. But you don't know how close I was to putting this building together. So I got the Raptors, I have another one goes on here. I bought the plywood and everything to do it, but then I got hurt. Whatever happened, happened. And until they take these staples out, it's supposed to be tomorrow. It's supposed to be tomorrow. Let's see if I can get down here a little bit just to, yeah. This is a red pile, minor blue cross cock. These are two pure minor blue hens. Those are sisters. I'm keeping them just the way they are. I'm going to single mate the hens. Not for any special reason, just because I want them both to be able to raise their own babies. I'm not showing birds. I'm not raising, well, I'm not raising any personal show fowl. I might, how do you rephrase that? I'm not going to show any birds. I will cross some birds because I have hens that I don't want to get rid of, that no matter what I do, I don't know what the hell they are. No matter what I do, it's never going to be a pure thing. So this hen right here, this thing, she's gorgeous. I don't know much about her. She's very friendly. I don't know much about her, but there's something about her that makes me want to put a Liper cock over top of her. Whew. That'd be some fire. That's a pretty bird. That's a pretty hen right there too. And that Claiborne Kelso hen over there. The one that's got the hair on her head. Got a hairdo going on. Her. She's young. This will be her first year. He's young too. He's a young stag. He's got a few things in him. I forget what it was. My memory's terrible today. Nice little stag. I'm not breeding. I'll have him. I'll have him for a while. Like I said, there's a buddy of mine I take stuff to in North Carolina. And I'll let him do whatever he wants to do. And sometimes he provides me with really good birds as well. So, but for different reasons. He knows I breed. He's always known I breed. That's my top priority. You know, he does stuff on his yard as well, but for mostly different reasons. I'm gonna try to create a family out of these guys right here. I can only imagine the colors that will come off from the set of blues that I had back in the day. Case in point, woo, had to run over there to talk to the wife about some doctor appointment tomorrow. I'm supposed to be going to get my staples out and just how that's going to work. Yeah. Let's see. Let's get back in here. Let me tell you a story. A story about my most famous rooster in Caldwell. Caldwell, out there in North Carolina. That's why I like my blues. years ago, a buddy had lent me a very, very many winning time white claret, and this was a hoss, and he slammed birds left and right. I heard stories about this bird. Well, one day I was over at my buddy's house, and he had bunch of hens running around his yard, and there was these 2 blue hens running around his yard. I said, dude, I gotta have them. He said, oh, they're blue mugs, because he used to get birds from everywhere. So there's a blue mug hens, and he let me have both of them, and I took them home, and I took that white rooster, and I put them blue hens with him. I mean, they were literally like that light shade of blue, and started breeding birds. Well, something happened to one of the hens in the yard. Something got to her. The other one managed to actually raise up. I think she had like 7 biddies. She's all over the yard, you know, all over my yard. And then one day I wake up, she's gone. She's gone, and all I noticed, it was like 3 little chicks running around by themselves. And yeah, that really sucked. But I wound up getting the chicks up, and I just kept them up for a little while with all my little hatch tags and everything else I was raising at the time. And it got to the point where I would let these birds literally run all over the yard. Well, this little white rooster, I'll say white. I got a picture of him I'm going to put in this video. This little white rooster with his black specks and blue, whatever you want to call it. He grew up, and I'd say about 4 months of age, I watched him kick the crap out of a Rhode Island red rooster. Yep, sure did. And that was just on the yard. It took them a while, and they were going at it for a long time, but this little guy never stopped. As he got older, 5, 6 months old, after all the buddies that I had that were coming through my yard, and we were doing things probably we shouldn't have been doing, he wound up one day coming out to my house, and he brought a full-grown rooster. And he threw that on the yard, and he's like, where's that little badass rooster you got running around the yard? Talking about the white one. That's the day he got his name. His name from that day was Badass. This rooster was the most tamest rooster I ever had my hands on. I literally could pick this bird up anytime I wanted to, do anything I wanted to do with him. He'd just hang out. He would hang out, sit right there with you, and literally crow like he owned the world. And let me tell you, he thought he did. The times I took him and showed him on the road when we would go traveling to different people's places, lay him out. The time I went to One-Eyed Randy's house. This is a good little story, and it's probably the only one I'm going to tell you before I get back in the house. I didn't feed and water everybody. It's getting late. I need to go rest a little bit. Took him to One-Eyed Randy's house one day, and in the backyard of Randy's house, he had a swimming pool. You know how people like to do that. In the midst of, you know, Randy always wanting to kill our birds. I told you about the brass back Albanese that I had that I went over there and beat him 6 straight. He didn't always win. And the thing was, he did this shit for a living. He traveled to Kentucky. He went all over the place with his birds and even other people's stuff. But no, I never lost to him. We went over there one day messing with him when everybody was in good spirits, when they were all getting along. And he was talking about how much he liked killing those white birds. And I said, well, I got one for you. And this is how it went. We got in the pit. Everything was rolling. They were going at it. And out of nowhere, this damn stag that was run on Randy's yard jumped into the pool, hit Badass from behind while Badass is in the middle of a battle. Well, next thing you know, Badass turned around and hit him, and we did. The other bird squawked and jumped the hell back out of the swimming pool. Badass and the other bird proceeded to go about their business. Well, all of a sudden, Randy jumps up. Your bird's rattled. Your bird's rattled. I'm like, oh my God, no. And I'm listening. I said, nah, dude, that's your bird. Let me tell you, Badass proceeded to do what he did, and that was all there was to it. He pretty much walked out of there unscathed. Missed that bird. That was about his 4th time. Yeah, that was about his 4th time out there on a gaff. And yeah, just like all the others, he came out pretty much unscathed. And that's what I'm saying. I'm going to finish up with that, because I don't want to keep you all too long. I got stuff I need to do in the house, pretty much get ready to cook dinner. And so yeah, I brought him home again. Everything was good. It was a great bird. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We're gonna get some stuff going here soon. I got many stories about Badass, even when he wasn't fighting, and his offspring, his brother that was a beautiful actual blue rooster. That was like my best friend. I would take him everywhere I went. When I'd go to like flea markets and stuff, when I would sell birds back in the day, set him up on a tailgate with me and wouldn't even have him on a tie cord. He would just hang out. Yeah, these birds, they were right in the head and they were right in the body. Thanks for watching, guys, and hope y'all stay healthy, wealthy, and wise.